Mansions of Madness 2nd Edition is a cooperative horror game. You're investigators sent to creepy places to explore, find clues, uncover mysteries, and fight monsters. The game revolves around a mobile app which reflects the board you have in front of you, and takes care of all the admin usually involved in a cooperative game. It's a joy to use, and makes what would normally be quite a complicated game incredibly easy to learn. It enhances the exploratory nature of the game. On your turn, you can just move your character and click an icon on the screen which will reveal a new room or encounter. The app brings with it some creepy music, and we've had a great time casting the visuals to our TV, helping us get fully immersed. And this is where Mansions of Madness really shines. It does a brilliant job of providing atmosphere. The artwork in the game is stunning. The room tiles bring to life the feeling of this creepy mansion. You start the game with only one tile on the table, and as you explore you reveal more rooms, and it's fun to see what's around the corner and mimics the feel of what it would be like to investigate a place like this. Plus it means you can set up and get into the game instantly. Just pick some characters, a scenario, and you've started. It makes me dream of more games coming with apps to avoid the usual head in a rulebook problem. After I played the first scenario for this game, I was in love. It felt like a transformative experience, a sign of the future of board games. It felt so immersive, such a pure sense of exploration. We were cracking the case and saving the world. Unfortunately, that feeling hasn't lasted. After playing more scenarios, I've come to realise how lazy and formulaic this game is. One of its biggest appeals was the idea of solving mysteries. I love games like Sherlock Holmes' Consulting Detective or Time Stories, where you're given pieces of a puzzle and it's up to you to put it together to win the game. They're some of the most rewarding game experiences I've had. Mansions of Madness gives the impression that this is something you'll be doing. It opens each scenario with a well-written introduction, the opening of a mystery story. And the reason your characters are in these places is to uncover secrets. You encounter some papers. You have to roll an observation check to search for something useful. You succeed. And what does the game give you? A card called Circumstantial Evidence. Are you kidding me? I can't believe that the designers think this is a satisfactory way to tell a story. You don't uncover clues, you just collect meaningless evidence points. There is no mystery to be solved by the players, you just have to roll the right number of symbols on the dice. The game is scenario based, with 4 coming with the game and with more being released as paid for DLC. I quite like this system. To pay £4 for a new story driven experience that takes you on a new adventure, that's okay by me. Except it doesn't. Every scenario in this game follows the exact same formula. You explore some locations, meet some characters, and find loads of items, spells, and weapons. Then some monsters turn up and you have to kill them before escaping. The story is just set dressing. At first, when you interact with characters, it's exciting because you have to pick what you're going to say to them. The decision feels so important, you don't want to say the wrong thing. The more you play this game, the more you realise those conversations have no bearing on anything. Sometimes you might get a clue token, a soulless resource for changing dice results. The scenarios are supposed to be replayable. If you lose, you're supposed to want to try again, but it plays out the same. There's no way I'm spending 3 hours to read the same flavour text, find the same locations, just in the hope that this time my dice rolling goes better and I defeat the monsters at the end. We played the longest scenario, expecting it to deliver a proper mystery. Instead, it's just 5 hours of exploring locations, having uneventful conversations, hoarding items with a paper-thin storyline, only to fight some monsters at the end. Let me make this 100% clear. It is 5 hours of build-up. Within that 5 hours, there are no meaningful decisions. The biggest jeopardy is whether you get an item from somewhere or not. Every action we took, we became increasingly more desperate for the game to advance the story, to keep us immersed. And every time the outcome was an item or a clue token. When we got to the final section when we had to kill the monsters, my girlfriend walked out the room. She was done. This 6-hour slog was the most unsatisfying experience I've ever had with board games. It's tantric gaming. I could have forgiven the lack of story if the challenge of the game was interesting, and I could have forgiven the lack of challenge if the story was engaging. Mansions of Madness 2nd Edition has neither. This game feels rushed. One of the game's selling points is that it has puzzles to solve to unlock doors or find clues. The puzzles are literally the most basic puzzle a mobile app could provide, and they're the same format in every game. That would be forgivable in cardboard form, it would cost too much to give alternatives. This is digital. They have limitless scope to create unique, innovative puzzles, and they've simply chosen not to. They've settled for the most basic, unimaginative option available to them. For such an expensive game, the miniatures are disappointing. You have to fix them into these stupidly large bases. They fall out constantly. It's such a weird production choice. And as ever, there's no way to store them in the box. You'll be refixing them every time you play. The difference here compared to Cool Mini or Not standard is night and day. Fantasy Flight need to up their game. This game is one of my biggest disappointments. It has so much promise, it gets so many things right, that it's all the more frustrating for the things it gets wrong. But this doesn't have to be the end of the story. The framework is solid. The designers could completely turn this game around by using the app to deliver a game that offers a real mystery to solve, or a proper story. I so desperately want to hold on to this game to wait for that day, but the game is selling well. People are enticed by the glossiness, the atmosphere it delivers. Why would Fantasy Flight bother improving a hit game? There are some clever ideas in the game. When a character goes insane, their win condition can change that may pit them against the other players. I like the switch of dynamic, but it's not enough to save this game for me. I would recommend playing this game once for the brilliant app. I only wish they hadn't used it to distract us from the less than brilliant game. If you like this video, please check out the rest of my channel for more videos like this. I'm Actualol on Facebook and Twitter. I'm Jon Purkis. Thanks for watching.